What is up, YouTube? Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Alistair, for those who don't know me. Hope you're having a great day. I'm back with another audio interfaces video, and today I'm gonna talk about, as you saw from the thumbnail, medium budget audio interfaces. The other video I realized about this topic was the most viewed ever, and it was the one with more comments. So many of you guys told me about this Behringer audio interface. I didn't know that before. I heard talking a little bit about that, but I wasn't well informed enough to make a video about that. And now here we are. So let's start. First of all, the Behringer UMC24HD is a USB audio interface, which means you simply can connect that to your laptop with a USB cable and not use Thunderbolts or other technologies, okay? And it is designed for home studios, podcasters, home musicians, home YouTubers, so it is really versatile. So first of all, the design. So it has a fairly rugged metal case for a budget audio interface, which helps with durability on the other side. Then pad switches per channel to reduce signal level if the input is too hot. Then insert points, TRS per channel, so you can route external gear like compressors, EQs, effect processors and things like that into the signal path. Phantom power is 38 volt switch, enabling use of condenser mix like on the Scarlett Solo, but we'll see that later on. Direct monitoring and mix control input versus playback in order to reduce or eliminate latency while recording, so that you literally could hear that in real time, okay? With almost zero latency. It has multiple outputs, main balance to TRS outs and RCA playback outs, headphone output, and then it has MIDI in or out for connecting external MIDI hardware and controllers, which is really helpful if you want to record some MIDI keyboard stuff or whatever. You just pass through that if you have a particular kind of connector, or you can just go directly in your laptop, but it's a plus. Now let's move on with sound and performance. So what to expect in terms of audio quality, usability and many other things. First thing, the Midas preamps are considered good value for money. Clean, low noise for many typical uses like vocals, guitar, acoustic instruments and other things, okay? Now stop everything for a while, because you already know my opinion about preamps. So I'm not saying I hate preamps, I just said in two other videos that they're not useful if you already have a good audio interface and a good microphone setup. But now let's go back to the point. As we were saying, they're not ultra high end, but they're respectable. Then the converters, ADC, DAC are good, especially if you're not pushing them to extreme levels. For example, clipping is something to watch out for. Keeping headroom gives better clarity. Latency then is manageable with a direct monitoring and proper buffer driver settings. Buffer size and driver and audio driver settings, okay? On modern computers it works well because there are some automatic things, okay? Some users on lower spec machines have reported requiring adjustments to avoid dropouts, but that is not my case. For example, with my Scarlett, I didn't have that kind of problems, okay? Maybe you have to work a little bit on the buffer size in order to avoid the whole latency, but basically it's already done. Finally, dynamic range and frequency. So frequency response and dynamic range are solid in its bracket. It has a 24-bit, which is like 192 kilohertz, which is more than enough for typical home studio work as frequency. Talking about the pros, here's what the UMC24HD does well. Excellent price to features ratio. For what you pay, you get generous I/O, good preamps, inserts, multiple outputs, and phantom power and other things. Then you have flexible routing options via extra outputs and inserts, as I said before. Good for people who want more than just a microphone into Duo, okay? You know what I mean? And then durable build for its class, which means better metal casing than many cheaper plastic units. It's good for recording more than just one source at once, like vocals plus guitar. But now let's see the other side of the medal. So the limitations of this audio interface. So it is USB powered. This means if you're using phantom power and both inputs heavily, the power draw can stress the USB. So you need to watch for noise or ensure good USB power. Normally the USB power is included, the USB cable is included in the pack and is a good cable. But if it's not, just be sure to buy a high quality cable. And that is really important, even if you maybe think, yeah, that is just a cable. No, that can ruin your life. I'm serious. Because it happened to me that like after 2 years of using my audio interface, I started having problems, not because of the USB cable, but the high quality USB cable helped me having less noise, so consider that. Second point is when using high gains, talking about your vocals, okay, noise could become more noticeable and you need to maintain headroom. Another thing is that the driver's software is simple and there are not too many fancy DSP or other things, okay, options, unlike higher budget interfaces, okay. While many users report solid performance, some others had stability issues, especially on certain Windows setups, okay, when pushing settings. Like as I said before, using high gains could contribute, okay, so maybe this depends also on how you use that. Now let's move on to the next audio interface I thought for this video, which is the M-Track Audio by M-Audio. You probably already heard that. In other videos I talked about the M-Track Solo audio interface, always by M-Audio. Personally, I really like the M-Audio alternative because not only it has a lower budget than usual, but I heard many comparisons, sound tests, things like that, okay, and I'm sure that this is a pretty good product, okay. Now let's move on with the specs part, or maybe some of you will unsubscribe because you consider that a boring channel. This is not. Talking about the design, it has a metal main part, okay, which is a black finish, basically, with some golden and things like that, okay. Large central volume knob for monitor control, compact and desktop friendly yet rugged enough for portable setups. And finally, a simple front panel layout with gain knobs, inputs, direct monitoring switch, okay. It has, as you can see, 2 inputs right here and 2 outputs. So it's a USB audio interface designed for, as I said before, basically the same functions, okay. Pretty everyone. We can go from musicians to home YouTubers, okay. It's really, it's pretty versatile. Now, inputs and outputs. It has 2 combo XLR TRS inputs with crystal preamps. Now, crystal preamps are pretty well known, okay. They're high quality preamps, basically. 2 balanced outputs TRS for studio monitors. Then it has 1 headphone output with another volume control, okay, and then USB-C connectivity for modern setups. Talking about sound quality and preamps, as we were saying, crystal preamps offer transparent, low noise recording, supports up to 24-bit, which is 192 kHz, as we said for the other interface. This is the frequency. Then it has great clarity for vocals, acoustic instruments, or direct guitar and bass recording, okay. So this is similar to the Behringer. Then what about the performance? So this is a low latency monitoring via the direct monitor switch. So it has stable drivers and good integration with most DAWs, okay? Now, I know these things sound a little bit more specific, but the point that I'm trying to make is describing you these products, okay? And I'm helping you with some things that maybe you don't know, okay? At the end of the video, I'm gonna tell you my opinion. Finally, the software pack for the M-Audio interface. For the Behringer, it was nothing too great, so I didn't mention that much. But for this one, you have also a free version of Ableton, so it needs to be mentioned, okay? It's pretty cool. Last but not least, the Scarlett Solo 3rd Gen by Focusrite. So personally, I own this audio interface. I didn't own the others. I have this Scarlett Solo 3rd Gen, and it's a really good audio interface. I started having some issues recently, okay, but now I basically fixed almost everything. It was just a noise. It's like 2 years old, something like that. I can't remember really. But I just had this amount of noise, and then I fixed it. It was just problem. It was too close to the laptop and mobile phone, and maybe sometimes it could interfere, you know. It's not that good. So again, we are talking about a USB audio interface. It has the mic input right here and the guitar input right here. Then it has 2 outputs for monitors, okay, like the others. So the different thing is that this is kind of single, okay, and the others we talked about were duo audio interfaces, okay. So talking about the design, this one is always my favorite against pretty any other audio interface, because I like this kind of red instead of the black. Well, personally I love black, but the fact that this is red, that this is a little bit more original, okay, I prefer that. Talking about sound quality and preamps, the mic pre is very good in its class. Clean gain, low noise, and quite transparent, okay. For most vocals, acoustic guitars, instruments, it's satisfactory, okay. The most incredible thing about this audio interface to me is the air button, okay, this one here. This mode adds some brightness and presence to your sound, to your vocals, okay. Especially helpful if the recording environment is not that awesome, okay. It gives a bit more sparkle, especially for vocals and acoustic guitars also, okay. The thing is that this AU button simulates basically a preamp, that's it. Then about latency and performance, the dynamic range is very good. It has proper buffer settings. Latency can be low enough to record comfortably. Is almost zero. That is my experience, is almost zero, literally. The direct monitor switch helps eliminate delay when tracking. The direct monitor is this button here, and when you see it green, is everything okay, is turned on, and is everything working. So the strengths is that first of all, you get high quality preamp, as we said before, good converters, phantom power, basically same values as before, as the other audio interface. It needs 38 volts phantom power to run, so if you have a powerful laptop, it's okay. If not, you have to use your charger. Another point of strength is that it's compact, portable, powered by USB-C, of course, as we said, so it's easier to use. Balanced outputs reduce noise and interference when connecting to studio monitors, and it makes a difference in clarity. Then there are LED rings around the controls, okay, so you can see if you're distorting your sound or not. For example, if now I scream, I see that this is yellow and not red anymore, okay. Now about the weaknesses, there is only one microphone input, but to me is perfect. There is only one instrument input at a time, but I like to use like that, so I'm just saying the things, okay. If you want to record 2 microphones simultaneously, you cannot do that. USB powered, it has a heavy use of phantom power plus high sample rate. High gain might stress power USB, okay? And I'm hearing some noise. There is no MIDI input output. If you need to connect external gear like MIDI keyboards directly, this doesn't allow you to do that, okay? That's a weakness. I admit that this is a weakness about this audio interface, okay? Because you have to use directly your laptop, and maybe there are sounds problems and things like that, you know? So jump into conclusions, because I'm tired of talking. My main advice is that these 3 options I gave you today are pretty similar. The only difference, as we said, is that this Scarlett has only one input. These audio interfaces are pretty similar in specifics values, okay? The only things that change are preamps, basically. So what about pricing? The M Audio Duo comes for $78, then the Behringer comes for $79, and then the Scarlett Solo comes for $90. To me, about my experience, okay, I do not want to tell you what to do, but my experience is that my advice is the Scarlett, just because I have it and I know how it works. So these $90 are just an amount of money for a little bit higher quality. I'm not saying that the others are worse, okay? I just heard speaking very well about the Behringer. I didn't know pretty much anything about the M Duo, but I can assure you that the M track audio interfaces are good. So basically there are 3 similar options. So that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks so much for watching. See you next and have a good day. No, before that, please consider to subscribe to the channel if you liked the video. If you didn't like the video, please subscribe anyways, because I will put some more interesting content for you, I hope.